The Empire of Maka has existed for nearly 1,000 years. Founded and ruled by Ava the Main, the immortal empress, it quickly expanded its borders thanks to the overwhelming power of its mages and the shrewd politics of its nobles. Now it has fully conquered the centre of the continent of Elmera, and although war has ended, peace still eludes its populace. As the empire nears its first millennia, the signs of turmoil have become more frequent and apparent. Monsters are becoming more bold, nobles plot schemes of usurpation, and whispers of rebellion hang heavy in the slums. This gave rise to the adventurer. These strong individuals of all races and classes lend their might to the citizens of Maka to drive back monstrous incursions. There are even adventurers who perform deeds so noble that the people can see beyond their race to the hero that lies within. There are those who criticize these adventurers and claim they're nothing more than pawns used to advance the political machinations of nobles. Despite the immortal Empress herself making fewer and fewer appearances, there are those whose faith in the Empire remains unshaken, but the wise know that it only takes a few sparks to ignite the flames of change. Allow me to introduce you to these sparks. Welcome to Elmera.
Hello and welcome to Dice Age, a real play D&D show. My name is Jack. I am the Dungeon Master, and with me, as always, are our wonderful heroes. Would you all mind introducing yourselves?
Hello, I'm AJ, and I'm playing Edgar Wood, the half-elf blood hunter.
Hey, I'm Alice Rose, and I play T, the elven sorceress.
Hello, I'm Mitchell, and I play Essa Reyes, the human rogue.
Hi, I'm Zach. I'm going to be playing Tauros, the tiefling paladin.
Hello, I'm Trey, and I will be playing Oberon Perseus Maximus Germainus Cornelius Alexander Claudius II, your drow fighter.
All right, now just a little bit of housekeeping at the start. Some of our regular viewers may notice that things are a little different right now. That is because we are all actually in person recording an episode of Elmera together.
Yeah.
Normally we have to do it over Discord, but we got the chance to be together, so we're doing it live. Fuck it, we are doing it live.
Woo! Do it.
So, with that out of the way, we need to... Now, it has been a little bit since we did an Elmera episode. I think it would be useful if we could somehow, recap the things. Zach, I understand that you've volunteered to come up with a recap. Is that right?
Guys, don't tell Jack. I might have forgotten to do a full recap.
Hey, Jack, don't
Hold
tell
an
Jack.
AJ?
I think Zach forgot to do a recap.
No, I didn't. No. I just... Guys, don't tell Jack. I think he's starting to catch on to it.
Oh.
You know what I do in this situation?
What?
I just turn the TV on and see whatever the fuck comes.
Oh!
Yeah,
That's
that's a good
That's smart.
idea.
Guys, I was actually thinking maybe we could watch some TV. Maybe turn on a commercial
We're
or
gonna be
something.
talking over each other so bad. Yeah, let's turn on the TV.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess we can turn on the TV. Click.
Has this ever happened to you?
My party is trying to bring a corrupt and evil lord to justice, but I have no idea what to do.
Introducing Just Fucking Wing It.
I'm sorry, what?
Just fucking wing it. Why go through the process of planning out a scheme that's utterly gonna fail?
But we've been planning a lot.
Let's see Just Fucking Wing It in action. Hey you!
Yeah?
What are you doing in your campaign right now?
Oh, well, my group is researching how to challenge a lord in Makan court. Oberon is studying the potential for trial by combat, actually.
Wow, what a waste of time. Have you tried Just Fucking Wing It?
Oh, cool! No, I'm not going to waste time talking to my whole group in Madame Chevreuse. Shame, because we had some great conversations about Elmera and law, and the group each made plans on how to deal with the Richmond problem.
Exactamundo. Why waste time having Tauros talk to Elda Loomis about court procedure and how everyone is subject to the Zone of Truth spell but can succeed out of it? Just fucking wing it.
I've been using Just Fucking Wing It for years. T thought it'd be a great idea to plant fake, incriminating information to help Essa and possibly trap Richmond by saying she's in a relationship with Cammy. But why would we do that when we not give a shit and go in guns blazing?
Nuance and constructive ideas? Who needs them?
But we did have Essa plan to speak with the ghost of Richard's past wives to learn where they can get incriminating evidence.
You are dead to me. Hey, you!
How the hell did you get in here?
I am inevitable. What's going on in your campaign?
Essa and Edgar went shopping, and Essa found a stone from a scamming street vendor that she called the Orb of Pondering. Also, Edgar got a pretty lame chain wallet.
You are all shit at D&Ding.
But Essa used that stone to conduct a seance on one of the former wives, Zofia. She told us that most of the wives were poisoned by Richmond, that he has a lab where we should be able to find the evidence for the murders.
Ow! Did you just bitch slap me?
Just fucking wing it. The only way to D&D.
You know, Zach, it always seems to happen. We land on the perfect thing every time we do
Every
this.
single time. And what do you know? I didn't know you guys were in a commercial.
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Those people are just like you guys. The other guy didn't look like me though.
No, they didn't.
No,
Wasn't
I
us?
didn't
Yeah.
see it.
Well, it couldn't have been us because
No.
I wasn't in the commercial. So
That's true.
Well, yeah, I mean,
That's true.
I also wasn't.
But you were there. And
Yeah, you I wasn't though.
No.
It was AJ. The AJ on screen was too tall.
Yeah, and that
That's
guy in
true.
there, he had a blonde beard and that red hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have a blonde hair and a red beard.
that's another thing, listeners. We do still need that ranked list of who is the tallest
yeah.
in the comments.
Are we
Uh,
asking them to vibe check our height?
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry, man.
Listen, they're gonna think I'm tall.
Let's
That's
be
true. We
good.
did all think he
They're
was tall.
gonna be disappointed.
AJ's not tall.
Mm-mm.
He's not 6'4" like you, Zach.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That's true.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, you know what? Even though Zach completely fucked up and didn't get us the recap he promised, I guess it's time for us to jump back in to the world of Elmera. So, we just had the seance where we got to learn some crucial information from one of the former wives of Lord Richmond. But I think there was also another issue we needed to get settled before we could move on to the next stage of the plan. A certain conversation between a very special waitress and her bouncer.
T's gonna wait until Cammy is off shift and they're just hanging out. She's not gonna pull her away specifically for this. It's gonna be while they're hanging out, and wait until Cammy asks her about the group.
Okay. Yeah, so it's later in the day. Cammy's shift is done. And you two are hanging out. Are you hanging out in the common area or in T's room?
It's in T's room. Yeah.
T's room. Okay, so you guys are doing just girly things.
Hashtag just girly things.
And Cammy's talking about some. Actually, let me roll something really quick. Can I get a D20 over here? I need to roll it in there.
Do you not hear your own fucking dice?
Huh?
Did you not grab your dice bag?
No,
It's right there. It's literally right there.
it's
He is
over
the
there.
dungeon master.
I'm the dungeon master. I use everyone's dice.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh no.
while you're hanging out, Cammy's telling you about her day, and she says there was this kind of person that was here today. They seemed a little off, so I was keeping an eye on them, but they ended up not really doing anything. But I don't know. It's the first time I've really noticed them showing up.
Oh. Odd.
Yeah, no, and they didn't really do much. They ordered a drink, but other than that, they didn't really, make use of the facilities, she says, with air quotes.
I suppose some people do miss the point of Madame Chevreuse.
Could be.
Curious, either way.
Yeah, but how was your day?
Well, I met up with the adventuring party I've been hanging out with. You know, my problem guest.
Yeah, no, I'm luckily, he hasn't really been making any calls here lately, so that's good at least.
That's almost more of a problem. You see, one of the people in the party also knows Lord Richmond.
Oh, like, how do they know him?
Lord Richmond has a claim over his life. And if he doesn't bring Lord Richmond something incriminating on me in the next 30 days, I believe, he's going to kill him.
Well, that's definitely not good.
No. And on top of that, other lords are trying to, sister wives me.
Cammy, like, pulls a face and is just like, do they not know that you're monogamous?
They don't know anything.
Okay. Yeah, well, just give me some names and I can help crack some skulls.
You are too kind. But, I was wondering, and this is huge to ask, and I understand completely if you don't want to for 1,000 reasons, but I was wondering if I could ask your help with something not combat-oriented.
Well, I mean, it's not exactly my forte, but, you know, I'm always happy to help you. I'll do whatever I can.
Well, the idea... You know what people think of us.
She's, like, blushes a bit.
Yeah. Redder than she already is.
Mm-hmm.
And tea's starting to match her dress. The idea is that we get a letter in my handwriting about something substantiating that. I don't know that I'd use your name specifically, but I would imply a lot so that when he gives it to Lord Richmond, it's enough to keep him alive while we work on taking him down legally.
Completely, like, a full shade redder than normal, and she goes, oh, yeah, no, yeah, I can see that would help, and,
Can I fucking help you?
I was gonna play it off. I was like, oh, that was bad, but it's okay. And he looked at me.
This is
I was
why
like, AJ, I was
playing in
trying to
person
get
is
your
a mistake.
attention. I saw it.
I hope it makes a sound effect right as they connect.
We are professionals.
Keep this in.
this is why we can't do a live stream.
That's so true. Oh my god. Anyway, we were getting embarrassed at each other.
Yeah, so Cammy says, yeah, she's a full shade redder than normal, and she goes, yeah, no, can I
Not my
fucking
fault.
help
No,
you?
not my fault.
We
No.
can't do serious
That
shit
was
in
an
person.
unintentional sound. You shoved it in my mouth.
That's true. Trey did totally make Zach deep throat his lollipop.
Trey did forcibly deep throat Zach just now.
Oh my god.
That was consensual.
Listen, that Alice slap is starting to make a lot more sense now.
Oh my god. Anyway.
Cammy has become a full shade redder than she normally is. And she says, oh, yeah, I can see that would help. So you would be saying that we're,
Yes.
that we're,
Yes.
that we're, dating?
Yes.
Okay. That, yeah, because that's just something that, yeah, because we would just be saying that. It wouldn't.
Yes.
Yeah, no, because
I mean, people already think it.
No, yeah, they obviously do, and it's not like it's impossible. That I mean.
No.
Uh,
It's plausible, even.
Yeah, no, I would say that. Yeah.
Inside check.
Edgar all the way back in the slums is like, I sense, no, this is the Fae version of Edgar. It's like,
Oh
there's
my.
something juicy going on.
My face senses are tingling.
Let me out, Edgar.
He's like, I need to go. People need me.
I need to know the tea.
TNT.
Also, Trey was standing behind Jack
Dude,
that whole time,
yeah.
doing every motion that he did
Yeah.
and mouthing the words.
Nice.
Oh, again, this is why we can't do
Not
serious shit in
bleeding.
person. Not bleeding!
Yeah, there's like, after all the stammering and stuttering, there's like a solid, like, 15 seconds of complete silence between the two of you.
I just wanted to get your permission before I did that.
That's okay. I mean, you won't be using my actual name, and also like I can handle anything, so I'll be okay. Like I can do a lot, so.
I know you're incredibly capable. I didn't want to overstep and put you in danger where I didn't need to, because I care about you, and I wanted to make sure that you were okay with it before I did it.
No, yeah. I mean, I care about you too, and anything I can do to keep you safe and happy, I will always do that.
Cammy, thank you. And she'll like throw herself at her in a hug.
Cammy is like stiff as a board.
My hands.
Yeah, she is.
Like,
Good one.
First high five.
and but she does eventually wrap her own arms around you as well, and I think we'll fade to black on that. But also, I will need a deception check from T.
A deception check?
Yeah, you got to write the letter, don't you?
Okay.
Like sleight of hand, maybe?
No, well,
Oh my god. Got a lot of deception.
We need that sound.
We're going to isolate that sound.
so anytime something big happens in the recording, my God,
My god!
Oh, wow.
Wow!
Alright, deception check. Oh, titties. It's 10.
A 10?
Alice.
Inspiration!
That's right. I did end up giving everyone inspiration before the start of this round because I realized I've been not giving inspiration, and I'm pretty sure everyone's earned one by this point.
Okay.
So
are we doing it where it's a reroll or it's a dice to add to it? DM.
What do we think as a group? What do we prefer? Give advantage or add roll like a d12 and add it?
I always like the advantage, but
I've always done advantage,
Yeah.
but I like the addition of number. Like I feel
We
like
had the card thing for a while too.
I feel like
But we could do
adding
that.
numbers is like more of like, yeah, this inspiration will help you.
Yeah,
While advantage might not. Like you
Yeah.
can get like a 9, and that's what's the point of
D12.
it. Yeah.
D12.
D12. Real dice, yay! Ooh, that's an 11, so it's a 21.
A 21. All right.
Good job.
Such a good use. Thank you, Trey, for reminding me of
All right.
that.
So you made sure to take a cold shower before you wrote this letter. Once you were calmed down sufficiently, you were able to focus in and write a very convincing letter that to an informed reader would instantly recognize that you are referring to Cammy in this letter, but still avoids directly naming her. All right, you have your letter ready. So we still have Essa and Edgar in the slums. T is still back at Madame Chevre's. I think right now Tauros is still in the training yard because he's finishing his 1,000th lap and about to move on to his first of 1,000 push-ups. Yep. What's Oberon doing?
Crying.
Oberon is probably been. This is just after we left Madame Chevreuse. Probably just went back home, maybe looked at a couple more things, and then probably continued his training with Castor a little bit.
Okay.
All right, sorry.
Okay, so Oberon is still doing some training with Castor. Okay, I'll say it's about the evening now. Do you all want to meet back up at Chevreuse in your little headquarters?
Yeah, I think that's a good move.
Yeah. Okay.
Before Edgar is gonna say, so what's the deal with this orb now? Like, is this something you can use again?
To be honest, I don't really know. First time tried using it.
So I will say, it is in the rules that when you attune to an item, you know all of its properties.
Okay, so, from what I could tell, from what it told me, I guess, when I worked with it, I can reach out to spirits around me. I guess that means I have some sort of medium ability. Like, well, I guess what my mom had, it was always weird that I always thought it was just the wives, but like, maybe it's more than that.
Yeah, I'm saying it would be dope if I could help. Maybe we find someone who's an expert in this field and see if you can get something more out of this.
Yeah, we can look into that for sure. Yeah.
All right. So you all, I'll say like sun's beginning to set. You all make your way to Chevreuse. It is now very busy in Chevreuse, which on the one hand, that's a lot of people. On the other hand, it's a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Some very fun noise too.
As we walk in, can I make a perception check to see if I notice any of Richmond's guards?
Yeah.
Anybody that I would recognize that would potentially be a threat. That's not really bad. That is a perception. That's a 17.
Sure, don't want to add your inspiration.
Nah, 17 is pretty good.
Don't let him bully you.
Okay, yeah. With a 17, you look around. You do not recognize any of the patrons as being members of Richmond's Guard.
All right.
So you all find the one clean booth again.
I'm gonna do something a little weird, but hopefully helpful. I'm gonna walk by Cammy, and I'm just gonna smell. For a reason. Nothing sexual. As a blood hunter, I use smell quite a bit to help with my perception.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna see if I can
Just get a good sniff.
get a good
whiff.
for Cam.
You want to get a good whiff of the cam.
Yes.
If it can.
Edgar is fully blushing, very uncomfortable as he's doing this.
Give me a sleight of hand check to see if you can successfully.
Cammy's perceptive as shit.
I
Yes.
guess how it works is like it's you're just walking. What'd you get?
13.
13. Roll a d20 for me.
That's an 18.
18 on the die. Okay. So you try to nonchalantly walk past and sniff Cammy.
I'm so sorry.
Smelling the bouncer.
I'm so sorry.
And Cammy, so you managed to like very quietly. You've gotten. Listen, this is not the first time you've stealth sniffed, and you've got a method.
Edgar, why are you a creep?
He's crying a little bit as a
As you do that, Cammy gives you a fucking look. She doesn't act on it just yet because she's working right now. But you know if she wasn't working, she would have some words for you. So I just want to point out this is the second guy friend of T's who's done something kind of weird and creepy to Cammy.
Tauros was cool with her.
Tauros is cool with her.
Oberon hasn't talked to her.
I've been keeping track.
Edgar's gonna awkwardly stand there, realizing that she's noticed. Give it like a 10-second beat of like, what do I say?
Like just standing there staring at her like,
He really thinks about leaving.
Just going, just like, well, you know what? Essa was there when the seance happened. You can just tell him.
I'm not eating right now.
Essa pulls him by the scruff of the back.
It's like, nope, we're going to tell everyone about this.
What were you sniffing for?
To get her scent, basically.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
that
Yeah.
in case shit
You
happens, I can
have
grab
her
it.
scent now.
Yeah.
You know exactly what Cammy smells like.
Hey T, guess what?
I could have just smelled T's dress.
Why would we know that?
Listen. The bar staff talks.
Yo,
Okay. So, you all get back at that booth. Who wants to debrief first?
So good news, first of all. Well, probably good. We have a clue or a lead on how to incriminate Lord Richmond. I have managed to, with this, I followed the medium's channel. With this, I managed to talk to one of the wives more clearly than I have before, Sophia. And
That's incredible.
And she said that Richmond poisoned some of his wives, and that there's a lab in his mansion or underneath it that should have evidence of it all.
Just to know moving forward, let's not say the name out loud.
Yeah,
Smart.
that's
Code name. Don't mention Lord. Do not mention Richmond. Let's say something else. You two can probably decide what that is.
bastard.
Dick breath.
Yeah, that works.
But bastard could also apply to tea.
That's true.
Yeah, sorry about that.
How dare.
You don't associate tea with Richmond? All right. Okay, so you all have just heard from Essa.
That's good that we've heard about that, because what I found out is good, but might complicate, as we are going to need a lot of evidence. Going up against someone big is certainly something that's happened before, but what Miss Loomis told me was that we're going to want a lot of evidence if one is to go against someone of that high of power. I did also learn that a paladin does watch over and will use a zone of truth on the person speaking, but they can resist it. And if they resist it, it doesn't matter. They will still testify, and
But
it's
they know that it's been resisted, correct?
correct.
Okay.
A paladin will know when someone resists their spell.
Huh.
And it will be brought to known for the judge, but they will still testify.
It's good to know.
Yeah.
Good news, Essa. You live another day, and she'll give him the letter.
That might actually with this buy me another day, and we'll see.
So with
It
that, where would Essa have found it?
He could have lifted it out of my bag,
Yeah.
taken it off my dresser.
I'm gonna need you to lie as little as possible.
If you'd
When you
like,
get
I
it.
can take it and you can actually steal it from me at some point.
I don't know.
I like
what's going on.
how little faith we have in the rogue's ability to.
I'm not a lying rogue.
It's not lack of faith in Essa, it's too much fear of Richmond.
Dick breath is a
Yeah.
Dick breath has
He's
dick
an entitled
cunning.
bastard, is what he is.
yeah.
All right. Okay. So you have the letter.
Yeah.
You all know what you need to do. How are you going to do it?
Edgar at this point is also gonna bring something up. So, Oberon and I had a chat not too long ago. He had some information about something else completely unrelated to this, but something important that I bring it up here. I'm gonna make sure no one's listening.
Perception check.
Can I also
Yeah, I was gonna
look
say,
around
yeah,
the
yeah.
second? Because I know
Yeah.
exactly what he's talking about.
I don't, but
You all-
Oberon's getting worried. So.
17?
11.
10 from
This is perception?
Wait, I can't
Yes.
roll actual dice.
That's a 24.
Nice.
Fuck.
Wow, holy shit, that's a 9.
9. 19 on the die.
All right. You all look around. Looks like everyone's doing their own thing. Oberon, you especially are like, okay, everyone here is either plastered, going upstairs, or are wobbling downstairs. So
Nice.
Somewhere
Oh,
someplace,
something.
I
Can I say? Before we got in here, this is something I meant to say, but I forgot. Could I have, like, given Woon basically instructions for if anybody like matching, like showing him like what Spade would have been wearing or something like that, and if anybody of that description or anything comes in to bark like a certain number of times.
Give me an animal handling check with advantage.
And let's go this one. That is a 16.
16? Okay, yeah. You managed to give the Wound the instructions, and you are able to confirm that he will send warning if he does see anyone matching Spade's description.
Okay.
So, Oberon found out from a friend that something's going on in Ella Creek that may have to do with my heritage.
Oh.
Rumors of something connected.
Sightings?
Potential rumors is all we know.
Do they match?
Deception check.
There's nothing.
We got a deception check from Tauros.
Deception check.
Okay.
Wow, holy fuck.
That's a
It's an 11. What's everyone's passive perceptions?
Well, I think this would be passive insight.
Passive insight.
15.
So 10 plus your insight.
15.
11.
Insight.
Needs a reason.
10.
Fuck, 11.
Oh, okay, well,
15.
So everyone but Essa picks up that
Tauros
Tauros.
is, the second you say Ella Creek, his face kind of like, his stone cold demeanor kind of drops. And you see just this worry in his face. But then he sucks it back in and he kind of like stone faces back up.
Edgar looks at T. Sees T.
Oberon looks at
That.
Tauros.
Yeah, T noticed.
This
Tauros,
is dangerous.
dear, you know I don't like to pry. I noticed that you've been a little, skittish around the concept of Ella Creek. Is there something we should know? Especially if there is this new concern.
It is a dangerous place for me. Not necessarily physically. I was there once in my life.
For the audience at home, Trey's been an inch and a half away from Zach's face with an
Oberon
kind of
Jack's
face.
making a fucking face up.
There's like, you see him trying to push it down more for his own sake. Like, it's something that he doesn't want to say.
T will grab Tauros' hand with both of her hands.
He kind of like takes a deep breath in, lets it out. Some steam comes out his nose. It's where I grew up
Grew up
Shit.
well,
before,
before the orphanage.
my God.
That's where I lived before everything, and that is not who I am anymore. But when we first went there, and I heard that there's goblin raids, I got worried. 'Cause I don't know if they are, but I had family there,
Family.
and I don't know if they're still there. It's
You had
not
family
who
in
I
Ella
am anymore. But if there's something going on there, it's not good. Not to mention that we certainly left a mess. We kind of just.
Yeah. After that, Oberon's just. I think it's a bad idea. I know what you're thinking. I think it's a trap. There's been nothing, no rumors about it until we got there.
Is it possible that there are others there?
It's not impossible.
It is improbable.
Zach, I'm about to ask you a question on Discord.
Oh no.
Make sure you're good.
There are very few people who were there for my thing. And we are the only one who would be an issue directly.
Lady Elmera have spread the rumor to cause us to obey a ward more threat.
But that wouldn't instill trust in them.
It would instill
Fear.
desperation in us.
Fear and obedience, because if they know and if they're able to spread it, well, then that's puts him in danger, puts us in danger, because what happened?
You all aren't wrong. But if there is a chance at all that there are people like me who could be helped, I don't know if I can stop myself from going.
Oberon heard this from his friend. What was your friend doing with this?
My friend is the daughter of a nobleman who is particular to agriculture and trade. He has a lot of connections to various parts. He heard rumors.
There is, if I remember correctly, there was a leak in the town where the goblins and the humans were communicating somehow. Is it possible that one of them talked to a human? One of the survivors?
It is.
It's possible. But here's the thing, too. If there is evidence of what happened, and a party is going to go try to find it, that also puts us at risk. Because we're the last adventuring party that's been there.
How publicly accessible is the record of final exams?
It's public. The
It's like we didn't-
graduation.
There was nothing posted that was like, this is your assignment. We had to find out from our proctor.
Right. It's like there's a registry of what adventurers are currently licensed and things like that. But as far as like what exactly happened, who your proctor was, stuff like that, that's
What your
not.
mission was.
There aren't really
Okay.
details like that. The
So
only
that
real
kinda
the only
dies
real
with
detail that you
things.
have to that is like anyone could see is that you are licensed adventurers.
Okay.
And our presence was known in Ella Creek of what we were trying to do.
Yes, we did talk with the mayor and that one farmer. The governor?
The mayor.
The mayor, and we did speak to the farmer, asking if they had any relations with the goblins.
That's happening in 2 weeks, right?
They will,
They're
correct me
heading
if
out.
I'm wrong, they will be there by 2 weeks. Or
They are taking 2 to 3 weeks to prepare.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So they will be heading out within 2 to 3 weeks.
Wasn't part of our agreement with Mara that all of the evidence goes away?
It was.
Yeah.
That's not a guarantee because I'm going to guess she has more allegiance to Ward, and if Ward says she wants that evidence, she's going to get it.
Mara told me Ward doesn't know.
Do you believe her?
I do. I can't say why, but I do.
We got a wisdom save from Oberon over here.
I know this puts you all in a tight spot, bringing this up. I know something we can easily ignore, but just know I can't. And if I leave, I leave. But I'll do my damnedest to be back to help with the Richmond.
If you
the
leave, you're bringing
Dick
me
Bunch.
with you.
I don't know how much time I've got. If it's enough, I'll join you, but I don't know how much time this would give me. If we go now, we are.
Feel free to skim the letter, but I think it's pretty convincing.
I don't doubt that,
That doesn't mean that he's just gonna walk away free
but
now.
Richmond's.
He
No.
might want more.
He might want more. Richmond will only extend it by a couple of days.
Did you name her?
No names, just heavy implications.
You might be on a mission to get that name next.
But at the least, like you said,
You
it
got
might buy you time.
Yeah, but it'll buy me time for sure. I just don't know how much. And if I go now without, if I would time I got now. At most, I'm looking at a week left before I die.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But if I can swing it to get a lot of time, I'll join you.
You all do
Oh,
also
us-
have the option of trying to steal the poison before going to Ella Creek.
Yeah.
Well, it's there. We know what it is. Getting in there is gonna be.
I tried once, did not work out well.
What happened?
I got in and I thought everything was fine, but out of nowhere it seemed I was surrounded by his 4 guards.
Why were you breaking in?
Just because I could. I had nothing else in life for me at that point, so I wanted to.
That's how you met him?
And that's how I got caught. That's how
Can I insight that?
I mean,
Just be like,
Oh,
this
yeah,
is how
roll
you
dice.
met.
yeah,
This
this
is how
This
this
is-
is
Actually, yeah.
11.
15.
Not that Chorus doesn't completely trust him, but like,
I mean, I'm not lying, so whatever.
Oh, you're not lying. You don't need to roll a deception check.
I don't know if I need a persuasion check.
that's a flat. That's a not natural 20.
Not at 20 from Tauros,
11.
11 from Oberon,
15.
from T.
Edgar's not.
Edgar's not rolling. Okay.
You get the vibe that Essa is telling the truth. Like Essa just goes, I was, my past with Zerbil, like, no, with that group. And I guess deep in me, there's still that idea of fucking over those who would cause harm and would use their power to hurt people.
And you didn't have a party with you, correct?
It was
Was
just
you on your own?
I was on my own at that point.
We're not the stealthiest bunch.
I know we hate this idea, but I could be a distraction.
Yeah,
I don't like that at all.
same.
Yeah.
I just don't see a more plausible way of us sneaking our way into his estate. I mean, I'm certainly not going to get past any sort of detections.
What is the vibe you get when you see Richmond right now? Dick breath. I'm saying dick breath. Character say dick breath. Dick breath.
Note for the show.
No, for this show,
Anytime
any Richmond is supplanted with Dick Breath.
What's the vibe you get? Like, what
Dick
is
breath
it?
is also a very common phrase used in chevres. So
Correct.
Do you know what he might do if he sees you?
Can I roll for that?
sorry,
Of course you weren't paying attention.
sorry. I was showing off my dick breath. Anyways.
Yeah, it's good.
Good for you. I'm proud of you. Can I roll for my danger vibes around Richmond?
Yes. Give me an insight check.
You want a vibe check, Dick Breath?
Crit! 21.
Okay. Your insight is shit.
Correct.
Okay. Yeah. So your impression around Richmond is that
Do I think he'd hurt me?
there's the potential. Well, here's the thing. He wouldn't. He'd get someone else to. He might if he felt like he needed to, but you definitely get the vibe that he already believes he's the smartest person in whatever room he's in. And he's very much the kind of person that he won't attack someone the moment that they, cross him, but he'll start working on a plan to get back at them after the fact.
Okay.
So you as far as like if you do something in front of him and him immediately retaliating, you don't get that vibe. But you do feel that if you do enough to sufficiently anger him, he would decide it was time to deal with you.
Okay. I get the sense that he's a pompous ass, and I don't get the sense that he'd actually hurt me in the moment, but it could put me on his list.
I am thinking of another possibility of I could talk to Miss Loomis and see what, like, possibly he has his security guards, his elites, but if there's possible other guards he hires, I could go to him as a possible hire looking for work and maybe get him to talk to me and look around and I could kind of keep him at bay if someone else were to sneak in, perhaps.
That scares me to the extent that he could try to use you against me like he does Essa.
That's the thing. Is I don't know if he knows how connected I am to the group.
Also, DM question. What of the other races? What are the races of all of Richmond's guards? Are they all elves?
So most of Richmond's guards are elves. The elite guards, Spade, Club, Diamond, and Heart. Spade is a human. Club is a Goliath. Diamond is a gnome, and Heart is a dwarf. So Richmond is not opposed to hiring non-elves if they can sufficiently impress him.
I'm not saying I will join his guard. I'm just simply saying I could go in and be the distraction that we need of having him talk to me instead of sending to you, as that's much more dangerous.
I wouldn't want you to go alone, though.
Go on.
What if Tauros had a reference?
That's what I was thinking.
All the heads turned to Oberon.
Nobody said that out loud.
No.
They just looking at
Everyone
Oberon.
thought it, but nobody said it.
Nobody said anything. Oberon has, since the whole thing with Ella Creek, Oberon has just been stone-faced, like arms crossed, like kind of like just staring down at the table, just like deep in thought.
You know what he likes more than me is nobility.
Oberon has
Andrew grabs a
already,
drink.
Oberon has already done a lot with
He has.
using his name and using his power. I feel as though doing this again,
There's
consequences to constantly using a name that
There's-
could come up.
there's also an inherent difference in using a fake name with no real connections that to somebody that we most assuredly know will be not an issue, as opposed to using my actual name with somebody who is very high up on the ladder. Can I roll a quick whatever check this would be to see how it would look if there was a way that I could phrase like giving Tauros as a reference without like making it seem like, oh yeah, I'm friends with this guy, I think he does good work.
Yeah, give me I guess that'd be a persuasion check. Or
Like not to actually do it, but to know like if there's a way that I could
insight, I guess.
Right?
history or no.
I think it would be more insight.
Insight,
than history.
okay.
This is a vibe.
Yeah, this vibe. Okay, that's an 18.
Oh yeah, no, yeah. It's you can easily say like something along the lines of like
I've hired him.
I attended the adventuring academy at the same time as him. We shared a few classes. He is proficient in his abilities. We like say something like we shared class assignments. I can stand by that he is an effective guard, an effective abjurer, and abjurer in the sense of protector, not abjuration magic, but like and stuff like that. And if you could mention that you were on a team for the graduation exam, and like because you could say like,
randomly assigned.
yeah. If you haven't already formed a group before the graduation exam, it is a random assignment for your team. So it's not necessarily saying I know this person as a friend. I am close to this person. It's just we happened to work together, and he was good when we were doing that.
He had your retainer as well on his side.
Oberon,
So give me an insight check with that.
12.
With a 12, okay, I'd say that's good enough. So you realize having Oberon himself come with Tauros to do the recommendation, that'd be a little weird. Because like that would seem like you are specifically trying to directly work with Richmond. But if your retainer escorts over a Tauros because Tauros is a tiefling and may not be accepted as easily, but a retainer of the Claudius family it escorts him and also carries a letter of recommendation that could be seen as much less of a direct personal thing, and it's more just Tauros asked for help. You were a gracious person. You felt like I did actually respect your abilities while we were in that thing together, but I have my own things I need to do with, so I'll get my retainer to do it. But that does mean you would have a physical letter of recommendation.
As opposed to just written word. As opposed to just
Spoken
our word against Richmond.
There's proof.
Edgar is going to turn to Essa. Does Dick Breath know about us?
He knew I'd travel with you for the graduation mission, but other than that, he has no idea that I have a connection to you guys with the T. He knew I'd travel with you, and that's how he knew I knew T. That's about it.
How close an eye does he keep on you?
Thankfully, not much of one.
We look over our shoulder in spades, like gargoyling above our seats.
Yeah, actually, outside the occasional run-in with one of the elites, he doesn't keep much of an eye on me. I expect that will change should the time come closer to me. I have to get the evidence, obviously, but as of right now, where we're at, he doesn't keep much of a close eye on me. He knows his threats are good enough to keep me in line.
So if he saw Tauros, there's very little chance he'll connect the dots of who Tauros knows.
If you guys couldn't tell, I'm a bit of a nobody around here. Not a lot of people go out of their way to find me.
But you're our nobody.
There's a very small smile that comes from that. Very, very small, but you see it.
There's an idea here that could possibly work. You are putting yourself in a lot of danger.
We are. That is something we have to keep in mind, is the fact that
if he gets caught, there's a good chance he might think it's not just a coincidence.
Exactly.
So is it just Essa sneaking in while you two keep him occupied?
It doesn't.
I don't like that.
No.
I
What
can't
if-
sneak into his estate.
No. That's the last.
And Oberon is a little too loud.
And you getting caught would really fuck
Devastating.
things up.
There's only one. And Oberon's like very much in the I have an idea, but I don't want to say it.
I can see you're puzzling. What is it? Speak your mind for once.
You have only one choice. The ring must be taken to Mount Doom.
First of all, it must be thrown into the fires of Mount Doom.
Nerd grad.
There would be a way to get us all to his estate without all of us being responsible for sneaking in. I could go under the guise of I could speak with my father and ask if, say that I've heard something and would like to speak with Lord Richmond regarding potential maybe business deals or a potential hearing with my family to the Richmond family. And we're saying Dick Breath the entire time.
Mm-hmm. With the Dick Breath family.
With the Dick Breath family.
So, you would go to him under the guise of, let's talk about a lawsuit I might level against you?
It could be like that. It could also be, we know you're in a lawsuit. What can you do to make this lawsuit not happen?
That can get us, Tauros and I, in. I don't know if that gets
It does not get
these two.
No, it doesn't. But it does open up something. It opens up a crack for us. And T can simply have bad timing. He's not going to turn you down even if he's talking to me.
That's true, but I thought we didn't like the idea of me going in.
We don't. But I think that if things go terribly wrong, which I'm going to assume they will.
If we had a way to know your progress in there, and like Oberon's saying, shit starts to hit the fan, we could pull the you popping up card, because that might distract him a lot. But
quick.
That's a dangerous idea.
Does my family have a supply of sending stones?
I do have the message spell.
That requires you to know his exact location, and that's only you two. We would have no idea.
We would need a
But
third
I would
way.
be able to know that I...
No.
And I could tell
and then
you.
she would pop in if things were dangerous, and we'd know.
That is possible, but like I said, she needs
I'd have
to
to know
know
where he
his
is.
location.
Yeah.
I'd say
Or like, would
if they don't have anything like on hand, they'd be able to acquire them fairly easily.
Okay. I could maybe get us a sending stone between those two, and she could message. Or isn't message like 100?
Wouldn't even need
It's
to
120
message.
feet.
T would pop up.
T would pop
if
up.
things were
Isn't
needed.
it? I thought it was you like only if you like kind of like know vaguely. Where
You have
Yeah,
to
I
know
don't
their
think you-
direction,
You
but
point
like
your
Direction,
finger
yeah,
towards
you
the
can't-
future,
you
and
can't just
range.
aim it
Yeah.
down and it'll hit
Yep.
them. Like you have
Yeah.
to like be like, okay,
No.
they're northeast. You just can't aim north and hit them. You have to like know.
You point your finger toward a creature within range and whisper a message. The target and only the target hears the message and can reply in a whisper that only you can hear.
Yeah. So she can't point underground and get S.
Oh, you can cast this spell through solid objects if you're familiar with the target and know it's beyond the barrier. Magical silence, 1 foot of stone, 1 inch of common metal,
'Cause remember,
a thin
Nisku
sheet of
talked
lead,
to-
or 3 feet of wood blocks the spell.
Yeah, and
But-
you gotta think his estate's at least one of those.
Yeah.
Like if especially if Essa goes underground.
Yeah.
Like, I could probably message you guys through a window or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you couldn't
But
message him if
I
he's
couldn't
gone
message him.
underground.
I will also say, sending stones after they are used once, they cannot be used again until the next dawn.
Yeah, it's a
That
once per day.
but that does give us at least
It gives us something.
It gives an SOS.
I also
and
know.
if we both have one, that means she could call me, and if I'm in trouble, I can call her and let her know. We have at least two uses of those that we get them.
So you can send me the help, and I show up, and then if shit goes sideways for us, I say help, and then you can come see us.
I also know once we have anything, if we do succeed and get what we need, we still need our noble contact to try to get things going, right? Because it's got to be a high level court. Shit.
You could get.
So I'm thinking we might want to just run this by her. Because I'm assuming, more than any of us, she has a lot of understanding of how to infiltrate another noble.
She could help us figure out how plausible this is.
Because none of us have done this shit before.
She seems to know something of it, and
If there's a flaw that we haven't caught, she would.
Would she tell us for free?
She wants to take him down too.
Richmond's one of you on her shit list rather than the
And it's not going to be free.
How?
If we're going to her,
Exactly.
gonna say,
partners with her.
We're already.
But Oberon, do we have a choice if we want to get this to court otherwise?
we're already in bed with her.
Well, T's in bed with everybody.
That's hot.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow.
What was Oberon's role there?
That was a nat 19.
It's a good roll.
There's an option. I
Which
don't like
is?
it.
You wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
You shouldn't.
I shouldn't.
Do you know what this option is?
Yeah.
Well, share with the
I
class.
think I'm picking up what he means.
If we need another noble.
We have another noble per se. a high-standing noble.
I would not hold enough sway.
Not you, though.
Oh no. No. No.
Like I said, it was just a thought. A bad idea. A bad idea.
So, are you all going to go see Lady Ward?
I don't trust her. I know that none of you do as well.
She has everything on me.
She's not. I don't think she's. If she was doing this, I just don't. I don't like this. I don't like going to her. I think that she could easily help us. She could also easily throw us under the bus.
We share a common goal. For a
Do
moment.
we?
Yes.
Richmond's dick breath is one of the worst out there. She knows that too.
And according to Essa, she's not on her list of useful, but on her list of must be neutralized at all costs. You scheming bastards.
No. He's just being an idiot.
He's literally just being a moron. From the Bible.
The bus.
I hate all of this. There's no
Is
situation.
that
where
Edgar or AJ?
This is.
Well,
Yes.
then I have something to ask. What do you plan on doing should this go south?
That's the thing. You're fucked.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah, I know that.
We're not in a good spot at all.
Who's we?
Whoa.
Edgar and Toros.
Yeah.
From our standing. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an audio format.
Sorry. We, Toros and I, are fucked because we have no backing in any way. Unless for me, you pull some shit, but your family's gonna be in a shitty situation if you're caught. And you, I don't know what the fuck happens for you.
Who's you?
T.
Process of elimination.
Yeah.
I see not good ones, but avenues. am scared of the avenues, but at this point, everything with dick breath scares me.
That's an understandable fear.
We
It's going to
could,
fix that anyway.
should we need to, we could have you two go in under the guise with a letter of recommendation. Me and T could be on the outside. I could be under the guise of seeing just a singular young woman walking alone and offering to escort her. That would not be anything too egregious and frowned upon.
We were classmates. That's a tie.
We were classmates. My bodyguard is very familiar with your guardian. We could work something out that way, and I could simply say that I would wish to simply, while I was there, have a conversation with Lord Richmond. He would not turn it down.
No, not with me on your arm.
It could work.
You're sure? If Richmond sees this, Dick Breath sees this, do you think he could put the dots together? That it's very peculiar that
He's
your
smart.
party comes together.
I think having tea there might be
Distract.
not distracting, but a
But
clue.
a red flag.
Red flag.
A red flag. But I can see what we want her then in case she goes south. The rest of you, he should not. I haven't told him anything.
You would have to.
He should not know about
You'd have to
us.
come out.
You would have to. You would have to make sure he doesn't have time. You would have to constantly. You would have to.
I'd have to be very distracted.
You would have to be very distracting.
I do have practice distracting him. Ugh.
I'd like to think we all make the
Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
No.
Like,
Toro's
do they-
the
Toro's
one
like,
who doesn't
she's
know.
gonna
what it
serve
means.
him drinks.
She's a waitress.
He's a waitress.
She gonna give him some mozzarella
Like
sticks?
a sandwich
Oh,
or
I'm so
something.
fucking hyped for mozzarella sticks. Anyway.
I just don't think that.
The other option is you give the letter and hope.
And hope that buys you
A lot of time.
a lot of
But we then do put your friend in danger if he finds out.
I know you didn't put a name, but there's only a certain amount of time until he connects the dots.
There are only so many red tieflings that I hang out with.
Do you hang out with more than one?
I know a couple.
Inside chat. That is true. You, at that point, should this buy a lot of time, and I do mean a lot of time, I don't know if it will, but if it does, at that point you may want to look into Lady Ward for protection for Cammy.
That's a good idea. She already has everything on me, so it's not like she can hold anything else over me.
So what's the plan?
I do think that Essa should wait to give the letter. I think that
Buy as much time. as we
How
can.
many days do we have? How many days do we have until?
It was 26.
7.
It was 26 when I told you about it.
Yeah.
And then it's been about a day. It's 25.
25.
So yeah.
And how long?
A new clock starts when he hands in that letter. And
Possibly. We don't know that for sure.
we don't know what that clock is. We don't know that time. We know this time.
Yeah.
We don't know the new one.
I just really issue anything with that. I don't know what he'll do the closer that time gets to running out. If he'll start having his guards follow me, sending spies after me, which puts this whole plot in danger.
I'm not saying you should wait till the last day. I'm just saying you shouldn't give it to him today. Not this week, even.
So it sounds like you guys have to make a decision. Do you want to try to infiltrate the place now and see if you can find the evidence before talking to Lady Ward? Do you want to talk to Lady Ward to see if she has any advice as to how you could try to break in?
Oberon's against it.
She won't like being an accomplice.
But better than us, she knows how to cover her tracks.
That's true. And she has the social capital to get away with things.
We're not doing this until we know what our plan is, if we get what we need. Because if we've got it and we're in danger immediately after that, there's a chance we escape.
Do you know exactly where this poison is?
I had no idea. I had no idea about the lab until I was told.
So you just know that the lab exists.
It exists. It's in the basement, and the evidence should be there. That's all I know.
If you can, I'd try to get more information.
You didn't find out what kind of poison, right?
No, it just said a poison. It's one that can kill. What did Zofia say? It killed fast, or it goes over time thing?
She didn't mention.
You just had poison.
If you are able to summon one of the ones who were killed by the poison, you'd be able to get better information from
Would
them.
I know which ones are killed by poison?
Well, you know which of his wives died of illness.
Illness.
Mhm.
Oh, then which ones died of the poison?
Yeah.
Come on!
That doesn't help.
They just didn't social distance.
I can try to reach out to one of the ones that died of the poison or illness, as he put it. See if I can get more information on where that lab could be. That's still a shot in the dark. I don't really know how to use this thing.
Then I suggest you figure it out.
If we can find out what it was, we might be able to find a way to find that specifically. I don't have that, but I know of some people who do.
So again, just want to say, so like, seems like the first decision you need to make is: do you go to war now, or do you wait till you have the poison?
Ultimately, this is you two.
Yeah. We're here to help the two of you.
I'm trying to think what she could ask for in return. How bad it would be, how feasible it is that we could do it.
She could ask for a noble.
She
could ask for
me trade one level for another. If I can, especially if you get an after, if I prove I can get in and out of somewhere like Richmond's Manor, it's like this time without incident, then she would want that.
I think so, but I also think she could ask for a noble. And his eyes are just gonna get a T.
Whatever it is, it'll be one of us to ask for.
I will say, you guys are going to need a favor from her either way.
That's true.
Because unless you use Oberon's family to bring the situation to court,
We don't have a lot of nobles.
you don't have a lot of nobles who have the clout necessary to get that done.
Once we have it, we're on a very strict timeline, because unless we kill Dick Breath, he's gonna find us.
The question is, do you want to award one favor or two?
We're in, if we're in. We're doing some crazy shit here.
We are.
We're literally talking about the downfall of very prestigious
We're
nobles
gonna go to the highest court.
and try to bring down a very, very prestigious noble, one who managed to get away with 5 murders. So
Can I
far.
just do another perception check around the room?
Yeah.
You know, just like a
Someone's
refresh.
just
It's
like,
been
why
a
do they
minute.
keep saying
I'll
Dick
do it
Breath?
too.
Has
George
That's
is
for
keeping
upstairs.
quiet. He's just kind of
Ten.
watching the room.
15.
15,
Oh, sorry. I dropped it. Sorry.
wound has not given a bark.
Crit! He crit!
23.
20 for me.
I got
on that.
25, not 20.
I got a 19.
Yeah, still looks like there isn't anyone who's listening in on your conversation.
Cool. Good.
We're
starting to be a little more explicit now. So
Yes.
I just want to double check.
Very fair. Okay, so it sounds like the group is ready to let Essa and T make the call here. Do you talk to Ward now, or do you wait till you already have the poison?
I don't love what we have to do. Then again, we have to do a lot of things that I don't love.
Yeah.
What do you think?
This needs to succeed. If we fail, if we try this and we fail, I'm dead, you're more than likely dead, and these 3 are going to be
I
in a
think
lot
he
of
could
trouble.
kidnap me.
And then he would kill you, because he's not going to keep you alive for long. He would forcibly marry you and then kill you. That's what he plans to do.
I don't know if he for sure would do that.
I don't know.
Because every other wife had something, had power, influence, nobility that he could inherit or steal. Unless he knows, this may just be a fantasy.
What he has insinuated, he is my capital to him, other than, I mean, look at me, is my power,
Your magic.
my magics. I'm a pure elf as far as he knows, and I have some decent magics. That seems to be what draws him to me.
So he'll probably find a way to take that out of you. Which would.
Oh,
I think the idea is a little more clearly to reproduce those magics. Catch my meaning.
Taurus is like, no.
I know.
So if we are going to go through with this, we're going to need as much help as we can get to make it succeed.
It doesn't stop. As soon as we start, we're in.
We're locked into what we planned.
Yeah.
So I think going to board now might be helpful, as much as I don't want to.
This can't fail. I think we have to go to ward.
Yeah.
We cannot risk this failing.
We fail, and a lot of us are either dead or in really bad places.
Half of us are dead, and the rest of us are thrown out from our security on their asses.
All right. Sounds like the decision has been made.
Boros keeps an eye on Oberon.
That's fair.
I'm assuming he's pretty stoical too.
So it is fairly late in the day.
Yeah.
Do you?
We can do this tomorrow.
All right.
You can see the not liking it on
Yeah.
Oberon's face, but he's not saying anything.
All right. Well, unless anyone has anything they wanted to get taken care of tonight, Oberon did send me a little message. So just go ahead and give me a roll.
I would like one more thing. I'd like a scroll of sending. I know that's going to be a bit more expensive, but Oberon would use any favors he had, because I'm assuming Annie probably has some stored somewhere. Any favors, I promised.
So give me the first persuasion and then the second persuasion.
First persuasion is going to be a unnatural 20.
That checks out. You got it. Second persuasion.
Second persuasion is a natural 1.
Yeah. So you asked
And
about
our
this.
inspiration is, can we choose whether it's the reroll or adding the d12, or is it just adding the d12?
I'll let you choose between the two.
I'll make that a reroll.
Okay.
That's a 17.
17? Yeah. So she'll be able to do the first secret thing, and then she will also be able to get you a sending scroll.
Gotcha. And I want the trigger to be like what I said, or when Oberon when Oberon would come in, give the trigger.
Okay.
I'll just add those to my inventory real quick.
All right. So we will just move on to the next day. You all, I imagine, have some restlessness trying to get to bed. Next day comes, and you all head towards Lady Ward's estate. Okay.
T will offer when they kind of meet up. If you want just Elsa and I to go, you all don't have to go.
Absolutely not.
I don't
Sorry.
trust her.
Thank
I
you.
do not either.
All right. So you all arrive at Lady Ward's estate. With all of you there, you knock on the door. One of her servants ushers you all in, lets you know that she'll speak with you very soon. She is just finishing up her lunch. And then after a moment, you all are able to enter her office, and you do see that Mara is there with her. And she looks at you all and gives a smile and says, "Oh, what a lovely surprise to see you all again. How may I be of assistance?"
My lady, we have developments. Since we last spoke, it has become more and more pressing what a threat Lord Richmond is. Specifically to some of us, but also to the Empire as a whole. And we have plans that we would like to set in motion. We were wondering if we could get your advice on them.
She kind of leans back and she says, "Interesting. As I told Essa, I have been planning on dealing with Richmond myself for quite some time now. If you have any new developments that might make that a little easier, I'd be happy to hear it."
T is giving some big side eye to Essa. What cards do we want to play here?
Right before they say anything, Oberon is going to just go, "We want to know if you'll help or not first."
She, give me a persuasion check.
Smart. That's very smart.
19.
19? Okay. We'll get an insight check from her. That is a nat 20.
That dice is cracked.
The target dice is cracked except when I roll it.
You rolled a 6.
Okay, there's the nat 20. Maybe I should just be rolling this dice. Never mind. Okay.
Okay.
So she smiles at you, Oberon, in a slightly condescending way. Slightly. And she says, I appreciate that is a good tactic to attempt to get commitment from someone before telling them too much of the information. However, I think you all know that you are not currently the ones bargaining from a position of power. I will say, I am very amenable to working with you all, and I will happily assist you if I think that this information is good enough to make the plan become much more effective than anything else I have currently prepared. But I do need to know if what you all know will actually be of benefit before I can fully commit to anything.
I look over to Tina and I kind of shout, like, kind of pull up the medium's channel, like, kind of looking at her like, should I?
She gives him a look that says, if you are okay with this, then do it.
Is there wine? Can we have some wine?
Still out
As I finish my wine glass of ginger ale.
Mm-hmm.
Esther looks and goes, Lady Ward, it has come to our knowledge that Richmond, as you know, several of his wives passed due to illness, as he described, but we have come to knowledge that it was not illness, but they were poisoned. And specifically that Richmond has a lab within his mansion where he made the poison. We believe that if we get down there, we can find the evidence of it and bring him down that way.
Completely above the belt maneuvers, except for
The breaking
the
in.
initial.
She puts a hand on her chin and she says, I'd long suspected that it was more than simple illness that had taken out those wives. If you have 5 dead wives and 3 of them died of illness, it's not exactly brain surgery to figure out that they were actually poisoned.
Is there brain surgery in Elmera?
They had brain surgery back in like ancient Peru.
There we go.
That's true.
No, like they actually legitimately had like effective brain surgery because they had the damage is like
Been like healed over.
it been healed over, and it's like
That's pretty tight.
like there's archaeological evidence that they lived for several years after the surgery had been
Sick
completed.
as hell. Death Age. We know some stuff.
I mean, I imagine it was still a very involved and serious process.
No anesthesia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, remember, the Civil War had so many amputations without anesthesia. But she says, where did you get this information?
There's a lot of eye contact going on at this table.
Yeah, I
I
feel
just
like we
need the
all just
listeners to know that.
Okay. I'm gonna pull up the medium channel.
Okay.
No, I am sensitive to the spirits of Richmond's wives. I can contact them with this. And I managed to pull contact of one of them and learned that.
She looks a little skeptical and then says, would you mind if I held that for a moment? You give it to her, and she waves her hand over it and casts Detect Magic. Or no, Identify, sorry. After the spell effect concludes, she looks at you and says, you are significantly more gifted than I had originally assumed, my friend. That is quite impressive. That's certainly Very compelling, yes. If we have that knowledge that the poison can be discovered.
In fact, Essa has told us that he's experienced these deaths.
Before I found this, I had managed to make some kind of contact with them, although I couldn't see them clearly, but I had seen basically replays of their deaths show kind of me experiencing it, me in the position where the wives were.
All right. Well, that does change things. If we can somehow get a sample of that poison, I know an alchemist who can have it studied so that we can confirm what exactly it is.
What its
Yes.
effects would be on the body and how they mimicked the illness that took the wives.
Right. No, yes, because that illness is very unique. It's not something that could be easily replicated. You all are aware of what the illness was, correct?
No.
Carol has
He didn't really let it trickle down.
You can give a history, see if the wives maybe
Cool.
have.
That is a with the history that where's
18.
That's a 22.
All right. Yeah. So, Essa, you would know that the disease that the wives supposedly died of was called wind rot.
Wind rot.
I feel like we
You
heard that.
bastard.
Yeah.
Anyway, don't
It's
worry
what
about it.
Harrison.
What?
Or was it what Harrison had?
No,
Oh, yeah.
Harrison didn't have that.
What Harrison doesn't have wind
We
rot.
heard that somewhere.
It's
haven't we?
Chevron.
It's Shamrock.
You motherfuckers don't know
No,
that.
yeah.
Jack DM'd me personally.
Yeah.
Wait, how do you guys know?
Because she has magical cancer.
Yeah.
Magic cancer.
Mancer.
Wind rot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, wind rot, a very serious disease that is also incredibly deadly. And if he's able to manufacture a poison that could replicate it,
T's face drops
mm-hmm.
and she goes completely cold for a second. It
Got
looks
it.
like she stops breathing.
Can I roll a history check if my mom's ever mentioned?
Yeah, you can do that.
Advantage?
Is T trying to hide this reaction?
I don't think she has control over that.
Okay.
So anyone in the
I'll
room
say everyone with a
knows.
passive insight of 12 or higher notices.
So, me. So,
On
me-
your history,
Yeah.
you can use your inspiration.
No, I'm not. I got it now.
I think I'm the only person with the insight higher than 12.
Passive insight better than 12? Yeah.
A single tear drops down T's face.
So, see, T hears the word wind rot, has a very visceral reaction to that word, but does not say anything.
Oberon's phone kind of just sees that and is just going to, like, very subtly, like, reach, and he's probably got on somewhere on his person, like, either, like, a cloth or, like, a handkerchief of some kind. Just kind of, like, very trying not to make a big deal out of it, just kind of, like, slide it, like, either, like, into, like, I don't know if she's got pockets anywhere on the dress. Yeah, just right in between the titties. No, but, like, maybe just, like, in her hand.
Like,
or something that.
like
yeah.
hand it off, but in a way that's not very obvious.
She's like a little limp
Mhm.
and doesn't take it. And she
And
just
he'll kinda,
says,
like, grab it and, like,
he's not just using it on his wives.
Lady Wharton was like, what do you mean?
He's done it. That's what's wrong with her. Madame Chevre, she practically raised me. She's like a mother to me.
Fuck her.
We just found out that she's got wind rot.
Spade was in the bar not looking for us.
Spade has been in the bar. And the treatment would be incredibly expensive, and money was just about the only thing keeping me considering his offer.
And getting rid of someone you care about.
Or having
Or
him be the only
Only
option we
option
have.
left.
And getting rid of the one woman who was strong-willed enough to be able to prevent him from getting anywhere near you.
Edgar's feeling.
I was about to say, Oberon, like,
He's poisoning innocent people.
You've seen Tauros like very, very stone cold. The most you've seen of him is whenever he like kind of snorts and steam comes out his nose. You see his breath kind of. like a steam heat up as he breathes it out.
Bastard.
Well, we certainly need to make sure we can get him the exact treatment he deserves so that we can get Madame Chevre the help she needs.
Your alchemist. Would they be able to tell us if she stops getting the poison? Would it go away?
I would need to consult them, but they would definitely be able to know.
I can look into seeing if any of the ghosts know the ingredients that went into this poison.
Well, I don't mean to disparage your abilities, but the ghosts, it seems as though you aren't able to get the most detailed information from them. I do believe that the best way to ensure that we can have an antidote is to procure a sample so that it can be reverse engineered.
Yeah.
We need to move quickly.
We do.
Yeah. Fuck.
Chevre's not doing well. Not well at all.
There is an event coming up in the next few days. A party being hosted by another noble, and all the nobles currently in the city have been invited to attend, or the leaders of the noble houses have been invited to attend. I'm sure Richmond would not refuse such a invitation, and if he is not, in his estate, he may have many of his guards with him.
I don't know if he would bring his elites, though. He might leave them to protect his estate more.
I think he'd have his bodyguards with him.
He would have
He
no
wants to
reason.
show his
He
power.
doesn't know that anybody would want to bring him.
But he might not. I'm sure he's covered his tracks many times before. It's definitely not going to be empty.
Yeah.
No, I very much doubt he would have no one guarding his estate. However, I do imagine that his more advanced guard, if not all of them, then at least a good amount of them would be either with him at the party or nearby enough that he can rely on them coming to protect him if need be. In addition, once we have that poison and we can provide that evidence. So, as she says, she's like, seems like she's recognizing that you all are kind of like in, like, we need to go mode. So, as you all are like looking around, like very clearly, you're all very agitated, like we need to do something now. Lady Ward does say, I understand you all want to jump on this right away, but I do need to explain something to you all. When we have that evidence, I will also, when I present this to the court and let them know that Richmond must be stripped of his title, the title would normally go to his liege. However, because the county that he controls is part of the central county where it surrounds the capital, his direct liege is actually the Immortal Empress. But it would be considered wrong for her to take control of the title because she's expected to oversee the entirety of the empire. She cannot focus on one single county. But I cannot be the one who attempts to claim the title, as doing so would hurt our case, be seen as me just grasping for power.
Of course.
But I've anticipated this. Richmond has no heir. However, Richmond had a sister. She is no longer with us, but she had a son. A son who I was contacted by the father of, and who I have been helping to train so that when the time comes, he can inherit the title that belongs to him.
This would be most fitting.
Indeed.
Edgar looks it over.
Now, this child is young. He is still still has not even reached his teen years. So that presents a problem. There is another problem in that this son is a half-elf.
Oh.
But if I am able to neglect to mention that or have enough people who owe me favors commit themselves to me before I divulge that information, I may be able to convince the court to allow him to inherit that title. But we will need him here to do that. And so...
If the court is unwilling to title this child, who would it go to?
In that case, we would have to start having the attempt to make the title go to me. But again, we should avoid that at all costs.
Yes.
Now, this child does not currently live within the city. It would be too dangerous if Richmond knew of his existence. So I will, once we have the potion secured, we will need to retrieve him and bring him here.
Where is he?
He is in Ella Creek.
Motherfucker!
Edgar's like, I fucking knew it! I knew it! Alright, so just
Jordan's just pukes.
Fucking do it.
No!
You fucking Rhaenyra Targaryen bitch!
And the name of this child is Lawrence Stowen.
I knew it was coming. 19 on the dice. Plus 1, 20. Dirty 20.
I can't hide from this.
That's a 23.
10.
Give me a disadvantage roll.
Disadvantage.
Disadvantage minus 10.
That was at 20.
No.
No.
Nah.
No.
I got
It's
No
a 9
fucking
and,
shot.
9 and a 6.
Horse's face fucking drops.
And
She was
sorry.
frown.
Frown.
And I think that's where we ended for this episode of Dicing.
Nice.